Hello everyone, this is Fraj, and today we will continue our episode about 1.16 modding tutorial. So in this episode, we will add a new item to Minecraft. Um, Begin with coding, we should actually introduce the basic step to add new things to Minecraft. It's called a register. So what is a register? Register basically means if you want to add something new to Minecraft, you basically need a register. So it's kind of like you register your name to your school, or like you sign up to a website. Um, when you register new things, you basically need two things. The first thing is register name, and the second thing is register object. Uh, so in this episode, we will register a new item, which called the obsidian ingot. So let's begin. Before we do some real code, we should configure our mod first. So first, we should delete these things like this, and create your own package. I just use github.flash .youtube like this, and give it a main word. We just call the main. And the second is you should give your mod ID. What is mod ID? Mod ID is kind of like a name, but it's not that kind of name. It's an identifier to tell what is to identify your mod. So in there we just use we should create a new Java class called utils, and add a string which is our mod ID. We just use this tutorial. It's simple, and yeah, we just use the tutorial. So we need to go to this results, info and most.tom. If you don't get this syntax highlight, you can go to the plugins like this plugins, and search Tomo. It's called Tomo or something else because I have installed it. So you can search this plugins and install it. You will get this Tomo's highlight. It's pretty simple, and we should do some things in this mode Tomo. There are some things mandatory and some things optional. If this field is optional, you can just comment it like this. If this is mandatory, you have to fill it. You have to leave it. And in there's a license, which is your mode's license. In here, you can read these comments and use this choosinglicense.com to get your license like this. Basically, we will use the GNU GPL v3 as our license in there, and in like this. And in this mode ID, we just use same mode ID in there like this. And the display name, we just use Flash YouTube tutorial, and in there we don't have the vision check or update server, so we just comment it and display URL, comment it, uncomment it, create it, comment it. Also authors we should just input on my name like this, and the description like this. This is a tutorial mode. These things actually you can just comment, but if you want to leave it, you can use like this. Choose the copy your mode ID and paste it to there, and it's pretty simple. Yeah, that's basically what we want, and you should go to the main class and use a note. This which called the mode annotation, a notion, how to say that word, annotation, yeah, which called annotation, and input your mode IDs like this. So if we boot the Minecraft, we should find our mode has successfully been loaded. Yeah. So next thing is we should add a new item. The first thing is we should create a subject package which called items, and in there we should create a class like mode items like this, and in there we have two ways to register a new things. The first thing is use the event system, and the second way is to use the different register. So in this part we will use the different register. Leave it that, and we should create a real item. This should be booted. Yeah, let me check out. Okay, that look like that. This is our mode class, which called, for example, we want to create a new item that's called the obsidian ingot. So this is called obsidian ingot item, and we should let it extend the original item class like this, and in there. So this is what we want, and in there you can say there you should input which called the properties. What is properties? Properties is basically a kind of settings to define what kind of the item you want to create. There are some things like the maximum damage, group is the creative type, and rarity is food, or it can be what's called the item size. It's item size is like the bucket only have one, and the apple have 64 can put together, things like that. So yeah, that is what we want. So we can create a new properties like that, and we should give it a group, so help us to get it easier, like item group, materials like this, and just delete it. In there we should create a new different register, like a public, static, final, different register, and in there we should add item, and items equal different register point create, and for registers and item. In there we should give it mode ID is utilities and mode ID. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Next thing is we should register all obsidian ingot item into this item. So we should create a static final registry object item, no, obsidian item and obsidian item, obsidian item ingot equal items dot register. In there, you should give it a name. This name must be lowercase. Also, this mod ID should be lowercase, and we just called it obsidian underscore ingot, like this, and we should create a supply. If you're familiar with the Java 8 functional programming, you should know what it is. So in there, we just use math reference like obsidian's ingot.new, like this. So if you don't familiar with, I can use like this and like this. This will be much easier to read, but we just use this. It's simple and easy to understand for me. Basically that's all. And the next thing we should do is to register the default register to the bars. So in Forge there are two bars. The first bars is called the mode bars. The second bars is called the Forge bars. So Forge bars basically include the events, which is about the game boot, game and the life circle, and the mode bars is include the events which is in games like game additive death, something like that. So yeah, let us create a constructor and use model items dot register. In here we should use how to get that. I forgot about that, so let me check out. Yeah, let me check out my tutorial. Actually, I write on 1.15 tutorial, but it's read in Chinese. So for the English audience, you may can't read it, but yeah, I always forgot that. It's pretty hard to remember actually. So where yeah, in there we should use this in there and input this. That's pretty simple. fml java moding context get mode event bars. Yeah. So let me boot it. After this sidebar up, we should get a new item. We get this new item, but this item will not have any, the models, the textures. So it's just a black and a purple, just black and purple. When we boot a new boot a game, you will find that. And yeah, wait a second. It's pretty quick actually. Okay, all new items should be added. Create a new one like that. And if you read this log, you will find this word unable to load model. It means your item or block or something else don't have model and or textures. So this is a note for missing textures and model. Sorry. Yeah, now we were in game and open the. Sorry, let me change my text input and go to there. You can find all new items like this. So actually, this is all first items and let me close the music. And it's pretty arty and it's totally nonsense. The next step we will add the models and the textures for it. So let me begin. When you add the textures and model, actually you don't need to close the game and edit and reboot again. You just need to like this and create a new things. In the resources, you need to create new folders. The folders structures should be same as the original Minecraft texture resource pack like this. You should create a folders called the sides like this. ATS and create a new photos which is same as your mod ID. In our case is tutorial, so like this. Now the next step is to create a model folder and item folder. Models folder like this. Models and item, not S. In there, we should create something same as your register name like this. It should be a JSON file like this, and we just copy original JSON file, which should be let me find the iron ingot. Where is iron ingot? Iron ingot. Yeah, in there. We just copy this. Put in there and change this Minecraft to your mod IDs. Mod ID is tutorial like this, and change this to what you want. But in my modding tutorial, I just copy the register name like this, and we should create. Next things we should create. The next things we should do is to create a new folders, which called the textures. This should be a textures. Let me check out textures here, and create an item like this. So now you should put a textures. I just copy my have made it like this source main resource size texture item and obsidian ingot dot there. We should find these pictures where in there and put it to where like this. This picture should be like sorry, it doesn't matter actually. Go to there, and there. This picture should be the PNG format, and its dimension should be 40 by 40 or 32 by 32 or 64 by 64 like that. And yeah, that's all. What you should notice, and this name should match this name in there. So what is model and what is textures? Model and textures pretty like your human bodies. So models like your bones and textures like your skins. So the skins embrace what is called in English. So like in there is bones and out there is skins. You know what I say. And yeah, basically this is what we want, and we should click this build and click this build. Waiting this build process. When it's finished like this, and we should go to there. Click F3 plus T. This will refresh your resource package. So you will your item package, your item model and the textures will be refreshed like this. So now you get these things. It's called the item tutorial obsidian ingot. So it doesn't have a name, but we can add it. Anyway, we add a new item, and we should add a new name for it. So in there, create a new folders called long. And if you are English, English speakers, you can create something which calls new field called English US.json. It should be a new field should be JSON2, and like this, it is a JSON field, and the key is the item tutorial obsidian underscore ingot, like this. Item the obsidian and item dot tutorial dot obsidian ingot, and the value should be this item's name, like obsidian ingot. So same as before. So we click this build and waiting for this build process, and press F3 plus T like this. You will find now all items have a real name. Also, you can create a multi-language field, like for example, in Chinese, we simplified Chinese, like zh/cn.json, like this. It's in there, and we should use this what's called the黑曜石定不是定，黑曜石定 like this, and also build a project and refresh resource pipe. Yeah, wait a second. Now I change my game language to the simplified Chinese in there. You will find this item also have a Chinese language, Chinese name, which called 黑曜石定. Okay, that is what we want to introduce today. So Discord server, where if you have any problem want to ask, welcome to join my Discord server. This service link we will put in the description. Bye bye.